when you
So
finish,
there you have
I would like you to take a picture of it.
Now
You
can
could do it on your
fast
phone.
motion videos.
You can
A boy portrait and a couple
your phone
other
would probably be the best.
Inspired by Romero, Britto
scanning
sometimes
will
that are not
make the color,
portraits, but just to give you some additional ideas of different techniques and medias that you can use. So next I'm using this white crayon to color in the whites of the eyes and the cloud. That way when I do watercolor around it, then it won't bleed over into the white area and it'll stay protected, it'll stay white. I did end up painting over the cloud, and some of the blue watercolor paint did go on top of the crayon, and then as I was wiping it off, it was kind of rubbing into it, so I would recommend still going around the area you want to stay white, but I did completely color it in with crayon just to help keep any of the water from going into those lines. So that's one technique you can use as the watercolor resists. The other things I did in crayon were the sun and the tulips really stayed nice, and I did paint over them with the green background. Same with those trees. I did the trees with crayon. When I painted around them, it really kept them from bleeding into other areas. So especially if you have like high contrasting colors like those yellows and oranges with the blue, being able to do it with the crayon first helped keep those colors true. So if orange and blue mixed together, it would make like a brown. So you really don't want to have any interaction of the watercolor. The one suggestion I would make is that if you're going to be doing say you're doing the whole thing with watercolor, you can do one area first and then leave that to dry and do a separate area after that, so that when you go and put, say I painted the yellow part of the face and then I painted the skin tone part of the face, I did the skin tone part first, let that dry, went and did a section, maybe part of the sky, and then when I went back to do the yellow part of the face, it didn't have as much water, so it was a lot easier to keep it from bleeding together. So that's why I kind of alternated painting different parts of the face to keep them like drying and then going back to add paint on a dry surface.